Hello and welcome back to another weekly Anchor Update. I'm Brody.
And I'm Tim. Today's top stories: a Providence nightclub is being sued over unpaid wages and illegal fees, Woonsocket school leaders plan a closed-door meeting after a series of student fights, Rhode Island's budget outlook improves but a major deficit still looms, and Hasbro Children's Hospital earns national recognition for pediatric care. But first, let's go to Reagan with our on-campus events.
Thanks, guys. Here's what's happening this week on campus. First, Immigration 101 takes place Thursday, November 13th from 10 to 11 in Alger Hall, room 110. This panel will answer all the immigration questions you were afraid to ask, open to students, faculty, and staff. Then, on Monday, November 17th, Open Books, Open Minds presents Our Immigrant Stories from 10 to 11:50 in Clark Science Room 152. Members of the RIC community, including Dr. Manuel Eam, Dr. Gabriela Torres, and Dr. Miko Nino, will share their own experiences with immigration. And finally, the Graduate Studies Expo happens Wednesday, November 19th from 4:30 to 6:30 in the Student Union Ballroom. It's a great chance to learn more about Rhode Island College's graduate programs and meet the faculty and advisors. That's what's going on campus this week. Back to you guys. Thanks, Reagan. Now to our Anchor TV sports team.
Welcome back to your Anchor TV Sports Recap. My name is Joe Dupuis, and this is Jill Guilfoyle. Let's get right into the past week's top highlights. Our women's volleyball team closed out their season strong with a 3-set sweep over Vermont State Castleton this past Saturday. Seniors Olivia Miranda and Sydney Pyers honored in a pre-match ceremony, both getting some playing time in the win today. First set, Anchor women claim easily after a tight back and forth early on, 25-15. Second set, same story, tight start, 10-9. Anchor women have the small advantage afterwards, though. 7 straight points from Rick to speed right by Castleton. Only 3 more points from the Spartans in that set for the Anchor women win, 25-12. On to the third, continued dominance from the Anchor women. They open up with a 3-point run and then end on a 4-point run, 25-14 in the final frame to close out the year, 13-13 overall, 2-6 in the Little East.
The women's basketball team is off to a winning start. Anchor women get things done at Western New England, 52-43 win up in Springfield. Anchor women got to a quick lead at the end of the first quarter, 13-7, thanks to 7 turnovers from the Golden Bears. Rick maintaining their lead at halftimes. Junior Megan Shorman, 8 points in the quarter to help bring it up to a 27-20 lead. Golden Bears try to cut the lead, but the Anchor women stay ahead, winning by 9 at the end of the game. Shorman, 23 points and 5 boards. Transfer Junior Wager with 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals.
Finally, the Anchorman basketball team is now 2-0, following a win over Worcester State 79-74. Lancers led early in the opening half, but Rick bounced back and were able to take a 4-point lead in halftime, 37-33. It would be back and forth in the second half, but the Anchormen pull away thanks to senior Tyreek Weeks' 3 and a key defensive stop from the guard. Junior Xavier Mendez notched 16 points on 7 for 13 shooting, also notching 12 boards. That's all from me. For your Anchor TV Sports Recap, this has been Joe Dupuis and Jill Guilfoyle. On to the Anchorman's upcoming athletic events and news with Tim Yeen.
Thanks, Joe. Hi, guys. Tim Yeen here, sports manager for Anchor TV, and here's what's coming up next for our Rick athletes, as well as what's new in the sports section for the Anchor newspaper. Our women's basketball team will open up their home season at the Murray Center this Saturday against the College of New Jersey, beginning at 1 p.m. The day after, on Sunday, they are back in action again, this time against in-state opponent Johnson & Wales University, also beginning at 1. Finally, the men's basketball team return to the Murray Center next Tuesday, facing off against Brandeis in a 7 p.m. contest. See more of our Anchorman and Anchorwoman athletic games and events at goanchorman.com/calendar. For the Anchor newspaper, I have 3 new articles to showcase. The first 2, a preview of the men's and women's basketball seasons, complete with staff and roster changes and the biggest question for each team heading into the season. Also written up, a recap of the Anchor Women volleyball team's last home match versus Castleton, a look at the pre-match ceremonies for Senior Day, as well as how the sweep went down. Catch those articles and more on anchorweb.org. Also recorded earlier today, an interview with RIFC public address announcer Justin Juju DaCosta. Here's a sneak peek. Welcome back to another Anchor TV production. My name is sports manager Tim Yeen. Today I have the honor and privilege of interviewing a proper icon of Rhode Island. This man grew to notoriety through numerous avenues, including being the face of entertainment for Providence College's historically successful hockey team and the blossoming women's basketball team. And now he calls Pawtucket's new soccer stadium his home. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest, Justin Juju DaCosta. Justin, thanks so much. How are you doing today?
Sam, thanks for having me. I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome that you're here today. So let's just get things right into here. You can find the full interview on the Anchor TV YouTube channel. You don't want to miss it. That's it, and that's all for sports. We'll catch you next week. Tim Yeen, sports manager for Anchor TV, back to Brody and Tim.
Thanks, guys. Let's get into today's top stories.
A former exotic dancer and server has filed a lawsuit against Providence Nightclub, claiming the business violated their fair labor laws and failed to pay workers properly. According to the complaint, Wonderland Gentlemen's Club is accused of misclassifying its dancers as independent contractors, which meant they weren't paid a base wage and relied entirely on customer tips. The lawsuit also says dancers were required to pay house fees ranging from $1 to $250 per shift and to tip out other employees, even though they weren't earning minimum wage. Servers are also included in the lawsuit, which claims they were paid below the legal minimum and still forced to share their tips. The plaintiff is asking the court to certify the case as a class action so other employees can join. Management has not yet responded to the allegations.
Over in Woonsocket, school leaders are meeting behind closed doors this week to address growing safety concerns. Student fights have become a serious issue in recent months, with roughly 30 students arrested for fighting on campus. The most recent incident happened just last week, forcing a lockdown and resulting in 2 more teen arrests. Police say one of those students allegedly threatened to return to school with a gun. A search of students' homes reportedly uncovered a revolver, ammunition, a machete, and packages of marijuana. Both teens are now facing charges and have been sent to the Rhode Island Training School. Families say the situation feels out of control, and school officials have yet to comment on what steps will be taken next. The school committee's closed-door meeting is scheduled for Wednesday at 6 o'clock at Hamlet Middle School.
Turning to the state's economy, Rhode Island's budget outlook has improved slightly, but leaders say major challenges still lie ahead. A new financial forecast shows state revenue is expected to come in about $29 million higher than projected earlier this year, giving the governor a bit more flexibility as he prepares next year's budget proposal. The state also finished last fiscal year with a surplus that was $20 million higher than expected. Despite those gains, Rhode Island still is facing a projected deficit of roughly $300 million for the 2026-27 budget year. Officials are already weighing possible cost-cutting measures, including changes to Medicaid, coverage for certain prescription drugs. Experts remain divided on the state's economic health, some warning of mild recession, while others say the state is only at risk. Lawmakers and the governor will use these new estimates to shape next year's $14.3 billion budget, expected to be finalized by June.
And finally tonight, Hasbro's Children's Hospital has been named one of the best pediatric healthcare centers in the country. Newsweek magazine included Hasbro on its list of America's best children's hospitals, which evaluates medical centers across 8 pediatric specialties. Rankings are based on hospital quality metrics, patient satisfaction, and independent accredited data. Sarah Frost, president of Rhode Island Hospital and Hasbro Children's Hospital, said the recognition reflects the staff's continued dedication to patient safety and high-quality care for children and families across the region. More than 10,000 health professionals were surveyed for the national report, which also used data from the American Hospital Association and patient-reported outcomes. Hasbro joins Boston Children's Hospital and Mass General for children among those honored this year.
That's all we have for you this week. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.